too much of a problem. I was going to speak about chest pain today, really, and sort of why it happens. I think there's a few main reasons that you need to think about. As long as you've been checked by a doctor, don't take any of this as medical advice if you haven't been checked. It's definitely a good idea to get checked. I've been checked numerous times, so I'm aware with mine it's fully psychological. But if the doctor said you suffer with anxiety, even before any further checks, there's a good possibility that your chest pain's anxiety related, but it's 100% recommended that you don't take that for granted. You get down to the doctors and you speak to them, and they should hopefully give you the all clear that yeah, it's in your head. And then comes the scarier part, than a physical ailment. You have to try and find a way of dealing with it. It's usually caused by, to be honest, posture is hugely affected by depression and anxiety. When you're scared of everything, and you've got no confidence and you don't trust your own body, you tend to curl up into yourself, you hunch, you walk slouched, everything's tight and rigid. You tend to sort of you're trying to almost escape the feelings that are going on in your head and in your body by sort of like curling up and trying to sort of lean away from them. And by doing that, you're just tensing everything up. So, number one, and the main problem of chest pain, is muscle tension. As a matter of fact, nearly all of it. The second one is with mental health conditions, it's quite common to have a pretty run-down immune system. If you're not sleeping well, you're struggling to eat, you're not getting as much exercise as you should because, let's be honest, half the time you can't be asked because you're so drained from how you're feeling. Various factors involved in it affect the central nervous system, which in hand, when that's worn out, affects your immune system. It can give you mild things that will make you feel a bit ropey, and costochondritis is one of them. It's an inflammatory condition. It's inflammation of the cartilage that's sort of between your bones and sort of in your sternum. It sort of stops them all clanking together, basically. So cartilage between them, when that's inflamed, that can create very sore, tender spots around there, and even sharper pains when you move about. That's something I've had thrown at me numerous times. Surgeries, a lot of doctors telling me that it's fairly common with anxiety patients to suffer with that. I'm fairly sold on the fact that mine is pretty much all down to tension, because I can have chest pain for weeks on end, take a load of painkillers to no avail, and then have a day where I have a really good positive day, and that is just not there. It's gone completely. And if it was an inflammatory problem, it wouldn't just go away for a day and then come back. I'm talking historically. I haven't had it for quite some time now, but I could have that. I could have weeks on end of chest pain everywhere, not just any type of chest pain. It could be stabbing in the middle, it could be a really dull ache all day, it could be all of them at once, crushing, squeezing. It's pretty bloody intolerable, to be honest, at times. There's a few things that kept me going. Other YouTubers who do an absolutely fantastic job, far better than me at public speaking. I'm pretty new to this, but yeah, there's plenty of other YouTubers and plenty of Facebookers and people out there that have been well longer than me and have done videos of support. So being in part of a community like that is really helpful. I do think you have to be really careful that you don't rely on them solely and get lost in a web of just sort of sitting online, hunting down videos for everything you feel in your body and just seeking constant reassurance from everything that you're okay, because you need to get that reassurance from yourself, otherwise you start to feel terrified when you can't search for reassurance anywhere. That was my big step forward when I had cardiophobia, was cutting the ties with the YouTube and not searching for every feeling I had in my body, and trusting myself when I told myself that, no, you're fine, Jamie, and not needing some other stranger most of the time to tell me that I was. That's a big step forward normally. But yeah, chest pain, really common. Most people I know that have suffered with anxiety and depression, I've known a lot, I've met a lot in group sessions, spoken to a lot of people online, I'd say hundreds and hundreds, to be fair. And I don't think I met many that didn't at some point have chest pain. I didn't meet many that had it quite as severely as me. In that occasion, I'd met people with other symptoms that were much worse than what I'd had, but my main real issue was palpitations and chest pain. It was the last thing to go, the first thing to come. The chest pain was really bothersome, really painful, and came in all shapes and sizes, all feelings, like, stabbing, crushing, aching, whatever. There's just so much of it. I was damn glad when that sort of stopped for me, to be honest. So yeah, it's not something to worry about necessarily. Like I said, most chest pain, non-specific chest pain, I think 70-75% is non-cardiac. It's not heart related. Most of the people that go to A&E with chest pain get sent home pretty quickly because there's nothing wrong with their heart. So it's pretty reassuring to know that hundreds of thousands of people probably every year get sent on their way with chest pain and get told to go and speak to their doctor and ultimately probably see a counsellor or a psychologist, because a lot of it's psychological or it's physical in a way where it's created by your tension and by how you're acting. But either way, it's probably stemming to a mental health condition of some sort. So it's really not as much to worry about as you might think it would be. So I hope that's some sort of reassurance for people that are still suffering with it quite badly and who it may bother daily and keep them up many a night, because it's horrible and you do feel alone. And even me sitting here telling you I've had it, you will still feel alone. But just that small bit of reassurance that I was there with you at one point, and I felt like I was alone, even if I was in a room of 100 people. You will get better. You just got to stick in, follow advice of other people. Meditation works. Sleeping flat, proper pillows for your neck, warm baths, massages, things like sound baths. I go to a great couple that do sound baths where you are immersed in music. So lots of alternative therapies that people usually sort of stick their nose up at and seem to think they don't work. Well, actually, alternative therapies pretty much solved my anxiety. I don't remember any particularly effective medical procedures or anything suggested by a doctor that done a great deal for me. It was all more, aromatherapies, nice oils that help me relax, hot baths, meditation, sound baths, all these sorts of things. Buy my own herbal teas. They all got me through. So don't underestimate the power of things like that, because they do work. Meditation especially, for helping release muscular tension. There's specific journeys that help you unwind tension in your body, and over time they help. Not the first time. You need to be patient, like any condition involving anxiety, but they will help over time. Anyway, yeah, I better go. It's late and I need to go to bed, but I'll be back soon with another video, hopefully. Nice.